Hello friends and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Super7 2002 Turtle Splinter. Part 2 of our, what wave was this again? Wave 13? Unlucky 13. But before we look at Splinter here, a little bit of housekeeping. When I did Shredder, I talked a little bit about the Sword of Tengu, thanks to the comment section for reminding me that's what this was called. I didn't go back and rewatch the episodes. Thankfully, somebody in the comments did let me know. I did talk about how this was technically for Leonardo, but I didn't show that off. So again, you only get this if you got the full wave from Super7 directly. You get this and this. This was the gauntlet they needed in order to be able to hold it, because it was kind of electrifying to anybody who tried to wield it. So the way this works is just your standard peg. So this does replace your hand. So we'll just pop Leo's hand off right here. These do pop off very easily, sometimes a little too easily. And just pop this into place. And not a super tight. There we go. In there. And then you can just have him hold the sword just like so. There you go. Now moving on to the Radical Rat himself, our boy Splinter. I had some things to say about this guy when I first got him in package, and I'm happy to say that it's not as egregious in hand as it was in package. If you saw my unboxing, I talked a lot about how the eyes were really bothering me. But we'll come back to that. Let's talk about all the accessories he comes with. So right out the gate, you do get an alternate head with the eyes closed in meditation, I'm assuming. You can see all the details there. We do get several hands. So he does come with the fists on him. I've actually pulled those off because he does also come with these hands. I don't know why I said because, but hey, he comes with these hands. And these ones are more like stop, but maybe like running on all fours hands as well. You want to do that. We get this hand and this hand, which I think are supposed to be paired with each other. I think these are supposed to be his meditation hands. So if you wanted to get him in a meditation pose with that closed eye head, you could do that. We get two gripping hands. I've got the right hand on him already. And then we get these two hands like this, I guess sort of relaxed hands. Again, I've got the other hand on him already. He comes with his staff, which I have him holding right here. We get Splinter as a rat. There's a crooked little tail here. Now he is just a solid slug figure except for the head. The head does rotate ever so slightly. And then we get the 4 baby turtles. Now, these are ultimately, well, they're not exactly the same. We have 2 like this one here on the right, and 2 like this one here on the left. They're nearly identical, but the posing of the head, as you can see, is slightly different. One's looking more to the right here, and one's looking more to the left. And you get 2 of these and 2 of these to represent all 4 of your baby turtles. And you can see how they scale here with Splinter himself. They are quite tiny. Now, moving on to Splinter himself. There we go. As I mentioned before, he's kind of got the bug eye syndrome. You look at him the way he is in the package, you're looking straight at him like that, and it makes those eyes really pop out in a weird way. But, most of the time you're supposed to be sort of just looking at him like that. That's more of his natural way of looking there, and that looks pretty good. I do have some paint bleed on the eye though, right there, where the eye paint's coming off the eye. But as you can see going down, you've got rat in a kimono. I mean, there's not really too much different you can do with rat in kimono concept, but overall, he's got all the nice sculpted detail there on the tail with the rings. He's got sculpted fur detail and the sculpted fur going down his neck. He has a more shaggy look to him, which is accurate to the show. And overall, he does look really, really good. Now, the body here, this piece here, is a separate piece. He does have sculpted detail underneath. This is a soft, pliable material. Same thing here with the vest. He's got another vest underneath the vest. If I can move it over here so you can see it. That is also sculpted and painted. But this piece here, the whole vest on top of the vest is not removable. So yeah. So for articulation, the head is on a double ball joint. You got a ball joint right here in the top of the head and a ball joint down here in the neck. And as you can see, this piece here is a separate piece as well from the rest of it. So kind of moves and gets out of the way quite nicely. You get rotation here as a result. The shoulders are on those universal in and out all the way around, and since this is nice, soft, pliable material, does not hinder the articulation at all. We also get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, but I will say these, I'm not sure if maybe they're on upside down or not, because they don't really want to straighten, and this one is worse than the other one. See how this one stays at that 90-degree bend there? This one goes a little bit further. Makes me think that maybe this was not assembled correctly, and I might have at least one of these upside down, because it does look like and feel like it should go a little bit more straighter than this. But we do get double jointed elbows right there. Again, much like Shredder, there is a swivel underneath here at the joint itself, but because of how hard this material is, that you're not getting any rotation out of that. And of course, you get the pins and hinges at the wrists. We do have the ball joint here at the waist. And again, because everything here is nice and flexible, it gets out of the way and doesn't look too weird when you're moving it. Same thing with the legs. You get those universal joints here at the hips, as well as a rotation right there. Get a double jointed knee for that digi-tread leg look, as well as a joint right here and a rotation right here. And that's about it for the feet. And the tail here is on a ball-like joint. You can go all the way around. It is a flexible material, but it is not a bendy. And as you saw, I could easily wedge this up here into his hand to hold it like a cane. And of course, that fits in his gripping hand if you want him to be holding it like that. And just to show how easy it is to pop off the hands, just slide that right out and pop the new one in. Now, just for a quick comparison, here he is with the NECA original cartoon Splinter. And here he is with the NECA movie Splinter. Here he is with Leo. And with the foot soldier from the same wave, so you can see them kill the other Splinter, because, you know, that's what they do. And with his articulation and the flexible material, it's pretty easy to get him in a nice sitting, meditating pose. So yeah, that's going to be it for my review on this Splinter. There's really not a whole lot to say here. I mean, he's a typical rat in a robe, and he looks just like he did in the cartoon. It would have been nice, I think, if they had managed to do some of that cell shading around his face to sort of help, you know, not make the eyes look like that. Um, but again, when you're looking at it in a more natural pose, it looks correct, does very well. But overall, I think he's great. I do have issues with the articulation in the shoulders. That could just be my copy. That just could be the way he's intended to be. Hard to say for sure. But either way, I still think he's great. That's going to be it for me, guys. Y'all have a good one.